When it comes to navigating the complex world of attraction and relationships, so many of us wish there was a proven formula, a series of steps that might help guide us towards that magical experience of falling in love, and perhaps even making someone fall in love with us in return. Leil Lowndes, an internationally recognized communication expert, tackled this very concept in her book, How to Make Anyone Fall in Love with You. Through years of research and experience, she's distilled down hundreds of studies and interviews to unearth what compels people to feel not only attracted, but deeply connected to each other. But is love really a science? A series of actions and attitudes anyone can master? Or is it a mysterious alchemy that's forever out of our control? Let's embark on a journey through some of Lowndes' most intriguing strategies and principles, and reflect on whether or not they truly hold the power to sway the heart and mind of another person. First, Lowndes emphasizes that love is not as random as we might sometimes believe. Instead, she proposes that there are certain consistent psychological triggers that can spark feelings of affection and closeness. Among the most important is the principle of similarity. It's a well-known saying that opposites attract, but psychological studies consistently refute this notion. We are, in fact, drawn to those who reflect aspects of ourselves, whether it's similar backgrounds, values, hobbies, or even gestures and patterns of speech. It creates an almost effortless sense of connection, as if we've known the other person for years. But how do you put this principle to work? Lowndes advocates for what she calls mirroring, a subtle technique that involves matching your conversational partner's body language, tone, and mannerisms. This can unconsciously foster feelings of harmony and trust between two people. For example, if your conversation partner speaks softly and slowly, mirroring that vocal pace can make them feel understood and comfortable. The research shows our brains are wired to respond positively when we see our behavior reflected by others. It's a way of saying, I'm like you, we belong together. Another compelling aspect that Lowndes explores is the power of eye contact. As simple as it may seem, steady and affectionate eye contact sends a clear signal of interest and confidence. Prolonged eye contact isn't just a sign of attraction. It also promotes intimacy, signaling to our subconscious minds that this person is trustworthy and captivating. In fact, studies cited in the book suggest that gazing into someone's eyes for just a minute can exponentially increase feelings of closeness. Of course, physical appearance and body language remain significant factors in how we perceive each other. While attraction can't ever be boiled down to one look or one ideal, Lowndes places importance on the concept of availability. This doesn't mean you need to be constantly accessible or desperate for attention, but rather that you present yourself as open, warm, and receptive. Smiling genuinely, angling your body toward the other person, and practicing open gestures create a welcoming atmosphere, one where someone might feel safe enough to let down their own guard. But all of this raises some questions. What about authenticity? Isn't there a danger in trying to engineer attraction? Lowndes would argue that her strategies are not about manipulation, but about amplifying genuine connection through thoughtful awareness of what draws people together. It's about intentionally creating opportunities for emotional bonds to flourish without resorting to deception or inauthentic behaviors. One fascinating idea explored in the book is the role of shared excitement. We often think falling in love is about soft lights, gentle conversations, and romantic dinners. But Lowndes points out that high-energy activities, dancing, sports, exciting events, can actually speed up the process of emotional bonding. This phenomenon, known as misattribution of arousal, explains why our brains sometimes mistake the adrenaline rush from a thrilling activity with the emotional rush of attraction. So, if you're looking to deepen a connection, perhaps it's a good idea to go for that roller coaster ride or sign up for a dance class together. Moving beyond the psychological tricks, Lowndes dives into the importance of deep listening and validation. Feeling heard is a fundamental human need, and nothing draws people closer than the sense that their thoughts, feelings, and stories truly matter. This means putting away distractions, maintaining soft eye contact, and following up their statements with questions or affirmations. When someone feels respected and understood, they're far more likely to develop warmth and affection towards the listener. But as we journey through these guidelines, it's crucial to consider the nuances of genuine love versus fleeting infatuation. Love, as many would agree, isn't only about the sparkle at the beginning. It's about lasting connection, mutual respect, and shared growth. Lowndes' approach acknowledges this, urging us to be patient, attentive, and responsive. Her techniques, ultimately, are not shortcuts to someone's heart, but ways to nurture the fertile soil in which love might blossom. What about the dating world of today? Does Lowndes' advice still apply in a landscape shaped by dating apps, social media, and new norms of communication? Let's look at the science. Online dating has expanded the ways we meet, but the principles remain remarkably consistent. Profiles that highlight genuine interests, shared values, and emotions tend to attract more authentic responses. The in-person techniques of mirroring body language and deep listening translate well into messaging. Thoughtful replies, reflective questions, and a tone of warmth and presence can go as far in a chat as they do face-to-face. Lowndes also suggests strategies to let someone know you're interested without being overbearing. These range from subtle compliments to expressing appreciation for the other person's unique qualities. Something as simple as, "I really enjoy the way you see the world," or "I admire your sense of humor." Flattery can win affection, but only when it's specific and sincere. Of course, making anyone fall in love with you, or even sparking a genuine connection, is never guaranteed. Tastes, personalities, and life circumstances all vary. And, as Lowndes cautions, the path to love is often as much about self-knowledge and self-confidence as it is about strategies aimed at the other person. After all, showing up authentically and confidently is perhaps the most attractive trait of all. There's a powerful chapter in the book where Lowndes discusses the concept of becoming the right person. This isn't about changing who you are to fit someone else's expectations, but rather about cultivating qualities, curiosity, kindness, passion, humor that make you feel truly alive. It's an invitation to become not just someone who seeks love, but someone who inspires it in others. Ultimately, what resonates throughout Leil Lowndes' approach, the importance of intention and mindfulness. Love isn't passive, and neither is connection. By paying attention, by noticing a laugh, a glance, a shared interest, a moment of vulnerability, we open ourselves up to possibilities we might have otherwise missed. Whether it's in a romantic sense or simply building new friendships, these principles can enrich every relationship we encounter. But now, let's turn the question to you. Do you think love can really be engineered through tips and psychological tricks? Have you ever experienced a moment when genuine connection sparked because someone listened deeply or seemed to understand you like no one else? Or do you believe that love is ultimately a matter of fate, chemistry, and timing, something that can't be manufactured, no matter the effort? Perhaps you've used some of Lowndes' techniques before, mirroring someone's tone, lighting up with warmth and openness, diving into shared adventures. Did these approaches draw people closer, or did they ever make interactions feel artificial? Your experiences and perspectives are what make this conversation truly valuable. Maybe you're someone who feels a little skeptical about the idea of making anyone fall in love with you. After all, isn't real love about being chosen for who we are, not for how well we master a set of techniques? Then again, perhaps these strategies simply help us show our best selves and unlock the doors to deeper understanding. There's also the question of ethics. Is it right to try to influence someone's feelings, consciously drawing on psychological principles to stack the odds in our favor? Is there a difference between making yourself more attractive and trying to manipulate emotions? Where do we draw the line? As we reflect on all of this, it's essential to remember that every person and every relationship is unique. What works in one scenario might fall flat in another. At the heart of all connection is a delicate interplay of openness, vulnerability, and patience. Not just between two people, but within ourselves. Sometimes the most powerful attractant isn't what we do, but who we are when we feel comfortable in our own skin. Think, too, about the role of timing and readiness. Sometimes two wonderful people meet, both armed with all the right communication tools, but circumstances prevent a real connection from forming. Other times, a simple, unguarded moment of laughter or shared silence can tip acquaintances over the edge into love with no conscious strategy at all. So where do you stand? Do you believe in Leil Lowndes' approach to attraction? Have you seen any of these techniques work in your own life, either with friends, family, or in romantic pursuits? What do you think is the difference between developing attraction and fostering genuine, lasting love? Is love about calculated action, spontaneous magic, or, most likely, a unique blend of both? We invite you to share your thoughts, stories, and even doubts. If you have ever tried mirroring someone's gestures or using active listening to build a connection, what happened? Did you feel more attuned, or did it somehow change the dynamic in ways you didn't expect? Have you ever felt a surge of affection after a shared adventure, or found yourself warmed by the quiet magic of being listened to without judgment? If love, at its core, is a dialogue, a shared, evolving story between two people, then perhaps the most important technique of all is simply showing up. Being present, attentive, and brave enough to express your feelings. The rest, as both science and art remind us, is out of our hands. As you ponder these questions, take a moment to consider your own journey. What moments or interactions have felt truly magical or meaningful? What have you learned about connection from your own experiences? Do you believe there are universal keys to opening the heart, or is every love story written with a different ink? As we close this exploration of Leil Lowndes' How to Make Anyone Fall in Love with You, the conversation is just beginning. The answers may be as varied as the people who ask them, and your perspective is a vital part of understanding what makes love the beautiful, maddening, endlessly fascinating experience it is. Whether you're a strategic romantic or a believer in fate, your viewpoint offers something unique and valuable. What do you think? Can love be inspired, created, and sustained through awareness and intention? Or is it, in the end, a spark that defies explanation, refusing to be packaged into steps or guarantees? Share your story, your insights, and your questions, and let's keep the conversation about love alive, one opinion at a time.